brings clarity to your soul, offering a safe space for healing through our compassionate practitioners, services, classes, and wisdom, plus the tools to support you in our retail space.
Are you looking for guidance and direction? Stop on by the House of Light Tuesdays from 12 to 3 and have tea and tarot with Christy. The House of Light is located at 29 Jackson Street in Newnan, Georgia. Call 470-414-6711 for more information.
When you hear music, do the lyrics speak to you on a deeper level? I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me and Donna Wood every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM The Key for our show Lyrical Wisdom. Every week we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.
Good morning. Welcome to WQEE 99.1. I'm Donna.
And I am Bruce.
And this is
Lyrical Wisdom.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Donna.
Hi, Bruce. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm so happy to be back live. How about you?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yeah, we have a great song this morning for you all. We, and all of you that have been emailing your suggestions, thank you, and you're going to hear it here on Lyrical Wisdom. Keep sending us your suggestions to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com.
Perfect. Yeah,
right? Or
please do,
lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com.
I think that's it.
Yes. All right. Today, we're going to look at Black and White by Three Dog Night.
This is very exciting.
Do you feel old?
I do.
I don't know if very many people out there are familiar with Three Dog Night. I grew up with them.
Yeah, no, they are
beautiful band from the 70s.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Very familiar with them, and I love their music. It's just, I agree with you. It seems like it is a generation kind of behind somewhere, you know?
Yeah. A lot of good songs have gotten lost, but we're bringing them back. All right. Here you go. Black and White by Three Dog Night. The ink is black. The page is white. Together we learn to read and write. A child is black. A child is white. The whole world looks upon the sight. A beautiful sight. And now a child can understand that this is the law of all the land. All the land. The world is black. The world is white. It turns by day and then by night. A child is black. A child is white. Together they grow to see the light. To see the light. And now at last we plainly see we'll have a dance of liberty. Liberty. The world is black. The world is white. It turns by day and then by night. A child is black. A child is white. The whole world looks upon the sight. A beautiful sight. And then it repeats. The world is black. The world is white. It turns by day and then by night. A child is black. A child is white. Together they grow to see the light. To see the light. Come on, get it. Oh yeah, keep it up now. Around the world, little boys and little girls. Beautiful. What do you think we have to get? Oh yeah, we'll get there. Because it's the epitome of the whole song. You have to get it.
Yeah.
You have to understand that black or white, day or night, It's polarity.
Exactly what I was just thinking.
It's, positive, negative.
Yeah.
It's plus, minus. It's light, dark. It's black, white.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang.
It's,
Yes.
It's all of those things that are the opposites. And that's the funny thing is that, you sometimes I think a lot of people think of black and white or light and dark as there is only one good and there is only one bad. And in a way, you actually can't have one without the other.
That's what I love about the yin yang. I'm sure most of you know what that is, the circle with almost like a teardrop of white with a dot of black.
Yes.
And then a teardrop of black with a dot of white.
Within it.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything exists with everything within. It is as above, so below. It is these things that are sometimes so kind of woo-woo, I know is how a lot of people like to say it. But in reality, it is very simple as well. It is just simply, like you just said, positive, negative. Polarity.
I remember growing up, though, a lot of times you hear the phrase, it's not just black and white. It's not all black and white. Right? You got to leave some room for gray. And to me, that's what gray is. It's the balance of the black and white, that the darkness and the light, the positive, the negative, the yin, the yang, the masculine and the feminine.
Absolutely.
Right?
And the dark side and the light side of the force. It is.
Yay, Star Wars!
The balance of the two is part of what the whole. It seemed to me like the scheme of the story kind of revolved a little bit around that as an element of it. Part of the whole storytelling process in those movies was the balance of the force, of the dark and the light,
right?
Or the good or the bad, or whatever it seems to be called. It just seems to me that. I find that one of the things about this song that is just so interesting about that is that is something it really dives right into. And Three Dog Night, they seem to really have this kind of outlook. I think this is what we're sharing. I think
wisdom.
Yes, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, because it really kind of spells it out. The parts of it where it talks about the child is black and a child is white. I feel like that's the part where I think that we just touched on just about, not every time they say that lyric, but a lot of times when they say it in the song, you could attribute it to exactly what we were just talking about, the polarity of more than just a child being either black or white.
Yeah, positive, negative, this
Exactly.
or that,
This or that.
Male or female.
Exactly.
Right,
All
right.
of the opposites are represented easily, I think, in many of these paragraphs or in these lyrics. It can be easily, I think, taken that way to see that it isn't just about the actual human being, the actual human child being black or white. It is deeper, much deeper than that.
How many people do you think actually saw this song as, and I hope I can bring this up here because it's quite obvious in your face. I think that's why we picked this song.
Yeah.
But how many people saw this song as perhaps racist?
Right off the bat, you could attribute it to a little bit of a child is black, a child is white, the whole world looks upon the sight.
A beautiful sight.
And what's kind of funny is that I agree, because what's really weird is that song, that lyric reminded me of a beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. And I thought,
wow.
Why is that something I would think of? And I think it's because of the fact that I agree, there could be this kind of view if you read it, and I can appreciate that. It isn't my favorite outlook on the song, personally. However, I would say that, I definitely feel like you could say that, because what probably brought up that memory or that thought to me are the ingrained archetypes that we are all instilled with from the moment that we are children, from birth until we start to figure out how we are going to become whoever it is that we are going to become. There are archetypes that are instilled in us, and I think that's where this could be taken from.
Yeah.
Is this, could this actually be a statement that could be, or a lyric that could lead us down the pathway of thinking it might be potentially racist. You know, and so I can see that because that is something that I think is you know, a thing that I feel like is mentioned in the in between lyrics of the song. The ink is black, the page is white. Together we learn to read and write. A child is black, a child is white. The whole world looks upon the sight, a beautiful sight. And I think, well, you know, that is a little bit of what I was just actually thinking, is that together we learn to read and write. And that is true. Together we learn so much from just looking at, hearing from, smelling and tasting, and just being in a complete sense of sensualization. All of our senses are on, but we don't necessarily have a way to verbalize.
Well, not only that, but together, that word together just keeps like lighting up
Yes.
in my head. Together we learn to read and write. Yeah, the ink is black and the page is white. But it's the togetherness that allows us to be able to learn to read and write. And the beautiful thing about it is that now a child can understand that this is the law of all the land. Once again, that's an interesting lyric because it, you know, it is pretty much a law. All children have to go to school and learn to read and write, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
no, there is a law against not going to school, or excuse me, a law against not going to school. I don't know if that's.
I don't know, but I mean, it's you. You can be homeschooled, but the thought is that one must be schooled.
That's a very good point to make. Holy.
Right?
Yes.
So, right then and there, I believe, I love the way Three Dog Night presents that, because yes, it's a law of the land,
right?
Because, and it may not necessarily be a written law. I'm not sure. Maybe someone can email us and let us know. But it's a unspoken law. If you want to exist in this world, or you want to, quote, get ahead in this world, one must be schooled.
And what you were saying about being together to learn those things, because we learn so much from just watching. We learn other languages later in life, and we learn them in such a proper and structured way. But when we learn how to speak, we simply watch and listen and feel.
We're just a bunch of parrots.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the funny thing is, I think it's truancy. I think if you're truant, that's the law that says you have to be in school in certain situations. And but that's the thing is, you know, to me, I feel like you're right. It's an unspoken law. It's kind of a little bit like there's that mantra where you say Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Brahmam Saranam Gacchami, and then Sangam Saranam Gacchami. And the Brahmam Saranam Gacchami, I believe, in my way of translating it, is that I surrender to the laws, to the law of enlightenment.
The universe.
The laws of the universe. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And so that part of it, to me, is a way that we do have to think of it as this is the law of all the land. All the land. In some ways, I think that is that nod to that type of philosophy. And I think you're right, because you cannot, you can't put a price on what the education is of the human that goes from being born to that period when they say their first word, they start walking. All of those things are learned in a process that is just amazing and really a miracle.
Yeah.
Because
not very many people really take time to think about it either.
No.
It just is.
It just is.
And they assume it's going to be because that's the way it's been.
Exactly.
From the beginning.
Yeah. And it's funny because then if you know someone who has had to relearn how to do some of these things through work with a speech pathologist or through physical therapy.
Learn to walk again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speak or even swallow because they've been intubated for a period of time. Those things are a very interesting process to undertake, and it is not, I would assume, the same as when you're born and learn how to do it over a process that just is natural and organic.
Yeah, yeah. What I love about it is how they say, when the world looks upon this sight of children learning together, it's a beautiful sight, because when you step back and do that, it's so beautiful, because it is a sea of color. All the different children, they are together and they're learning, and they don't hold any judgment, any attachment, any, going back to that word, no racism. It's like they're just friends. They're just learning together and being together. And it goes back to the beginning of, our, one of our belief systems of, taking back biblical, the Bible, Jesus saying you must become like a child. Enlightenment or spiritual living definitely is in line with this song, because you do not see any color. The world is black and white. It's this or that. It's positive, negative. It's light, it's dark. But for you, when you become spiritual and become enlightened, you don't see that. You just see the beauty all around you.
Absolutely.
And it becomes a rainbow.
That's amazing. That's so true. And it's beautiful to have that childlike look. I think of, there's somebody I was listening to recently who said that if every reaction could be as if we were 3 or 4 years old again, instead of being what we are, because all of these things that we've grown to and had attachments to can change how our reactions are. And I agree that having that childlike outlook, I think
That
Dalai,
wonder.
that wonder, yeah, I think
Yeah.
the Dalai Lama has actually spoken of that too, as just being in that state of mind. And I like that too, because you say, Three Dog Night says, together they grow to see the light, and now at last we plainly see we'll have a dance of liberty. And I love that, because I think that is what that is. That's what that to me translates to, just like you had said, is that this dance, this childlike moment of all of us enjoying it with this childlike feel and almost an immature but also responsible way of approaching it. It just, that to me, that really resonates, because that is liberty.
Yeah, freedom.
Exactly.
Freedom. When you can free yourself of the judgments, of the attachments, the this or that, black or white, that's when freedom comes.
Absolutely.
Because then you see people, when you meet them, all you see is their soul. All you see is their heart. You don't see the skin that they're in. You don't see their hair. You don't, nothing. It's like you just see the beauty within, the light.
The light within.
You see the light.
Like those little dots you mentioned in the yin and yang.
Yes.
The black inside of the white and the white inside of the black. And and that is a beautiful thing, to think of it as almost like nameless, almost as if we are all not labeled. We are not, what anybody else labels us as. We are allowed to be seen for who we present ourselves as in this world. Who are we? This is who I am.
Right.
I am going to show you. And the people that feel comfortable and free to lose the judgment, to let their breath be free and open, and to allow themselves to feel that, they can then see people for who they are too, because it is a beautiful symbiosis of harmony in that respect, because once those two energies come together.
Yeah, well, we'll be dancing then.
And we will have our freedom and liberty.
Yeah, dancing and liberty. That's what it's all about.
That's so cool, yeah. And it's, the world is black, the world is white, it turns by day and then by night. This song really, I think, embraces that so well and so obviously to me. A child is black, a child is white. The whole world looks upon the sight, a beautiful sight. And that is true if we could all just step back and see exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, the world's going to keep turning. It turns by day and it turns by night. When you can, I guess, let go and just greet every morning as a new day, letting go of whatever presented itself in the previous day. If you took that turn into the night, which is darkness, just shutting down, letting go, dropping everything, and then coming anew again.
Absolutely.
That's when you get to let go of those judgments and those attitudes and attachments and just greet the day as a child.
As a child.
As a child. Wow.
Yeah.
What's going to happen today?
Yes.
I look at my grandkids and I just, I love being with them because it helps put me into that state of what you're talking about, of wonder, of awe, of just seeing without that judgment of black or white.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is so clear. Very, very well put. I agree. I know that personally I do understand that somebody listening to us talk about this, they might say, well, but you don't wake up with that thing and I feel like this. And these are sometimes moments when we kind of need to almost say, excuses be gone. And,
yay, Wayne Dyer.
and the reason why I say that is because I would like to say that somebody that I enjoy trying to follow, a Qigong master, has said that Bruce, I own this body. I am this body and I own this body and I love this body. And that is one thing that I would have to say, is that to let go and to be able to look at my day afresh and new with a new pair of eyes and an open heart, not thinking, oh, well, I'm going to roll out of bed and feel that ache and pain, because this is my existence and it isn't necessarily going to change in the next 5 minutes. I need to let go.
Yes.
And see myself as this beautiful creation so that I can move through my day and accept these things that I cannot change.
Right. That's so true. There is night, there is dark, there is negative, there is all of that within the world.
A child wouldn't know what anger is unless it is demonstrated to it that is anger.
Right.
And so
it's a learned behavior.
It is. And so there are certain archetypes and behaviors that we are instilled at young ages that make us realize what they are. And yes, it would be so amazing to wake up every day not knowing what anger is.
Yeah,
only know.
That would be cool.
And I know that on the opposite side of love are these other emotions, but still.
So, in other words, we're not saying that you have to pretend to be happy all the time and you have to pretend to be light, because within the light there is darkness.
Yes,
so
there
go
is.
ahead, feel that anger and feel that frustration and feel that anxiety, but let it go.
Yes.
It's when you live in it and bring it back every morning that you cannot escape it, because that will become your world.
Yes.
So let's get it.
Let's
People,
get it, yeah.
Come on, get it. Oh yeah. Keep it up now around the world. Let's all become little boys and little girls. So we can have a dance of liberty.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I love this song. When you look at it with new eyes, and a lot of things, that's what it's about, is Open your eyes.
Open your eyes and
Open your eyes.
have the conversation.
Yes, have a conversation. Perfect. I love that. I hope you all enjoyed our conversation today. Did you, Bruce?
Oh my gosh, I love this. I am so happy to be here today.
Me too. I'm very, very happy. And we appreciate each and every one of you for being here now with us on Lyrical Wisdom here on WQEE 99.1 The Key.
When you hear music, do the lyrics speak to you on a deeper level? I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me and Donna Wood every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM The Key for our show Lyrical Wisdom. Every week we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.